Okay, good morning, everyone. I think we are done discussing this one, but I think I should recall this topic. So we'll be talking about menstruation. Menstruation is different from menstrual cycle. Plus, the menstrual cycle is the whole process which contains 28 days, while the menstruations is the releasing of blood coming from the vagina of female. So at this part, menstruation usually occurs for 5 days. So, or 3 to 7 days. But the normal one is 5 days. Okay. So first thing that there's a release of there's a happening of menstruation. It is because of the ovulation. When you say ovulation, it is the release of egg. So in the inside of the body of a female, or I mean inside of the female reproductive organ, there's what we call a egg cells. And those egg cells are covered with the follicles. Those follicles is coming from the pituitary gland. Our pituitary gland is located in our brain. So the brain or the pituitary gland releasing FSH or follicle stimulating hormones together with the luteinizing hormones. These hormones will be sent here in the ovary to cover the egg cell. So those follicles, what we call follicles, is composed of estrogen. They are the one, or they are responsible for the egg cells maturation. So when the time the egg cells is matured, then the ovary will send the egg cell into the uterus. So that is what we call ovulation. So when the egg cell go to the uterus, the ovulation is happened. So after that, after uh, the 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 egg cell will just leave and the uterus for just 1 to 2 days. So the ovulation or sometimes 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. So it stayed there. So after 3 days, if there is no sperm cells coming into the female reproductive organ, so there is no a, a egg fertilization happen. So when there's an egg cells, so there's a sperm cells then attached to the egg cells, so they will become one and become a cells. The egg cell here and sperm cells are called haploid. Diba? I have discussed this before, and the egg cell is, and when they hold fertilized egg, they're called diploid because there are two cells, two type of cells. Okay, so after that, if there is no sperm cells coming into the uterus, the the egg cell will be broken down, or they will be um, it will become a blood. Like this, it become a lutea. Now it can be moved to the luteal phase. This one, the luteal phase is usually usually it happens 14 days. That is a luteal phase. Like for example, this ovulation here is in 26th. Then you're going to spend 14 days. So those 14 days is called luteal phase. It is a formation of blood or the whole process coming from the estrogen, coming from coming from the ovary, those estrogen will be released that turns blood. And after that it is now the menstruation. So since the ovulation is released 14 days before menstruation, after menstruation, then we'll be moving to the follicular phase. The follicular phase is a process where maturation of eggs is happening. So when the they are most follicular phase is a phase where the egg cell is being matured. And then if they are fully matured, it will release an egg cell, which is called ovulation. That's the whole process. So the menstruation here, uh, the follicular phase usually for like um you count five from the menstruation and the follicular phase usually are 9 days. So after 9 days of menstruation, ovulation happen again. So it's a release of eggs. After that, so now let's talk about fertility and infertility. When saying infertility, it is a process of when saying fertility, a certain female is a certain female is a certain female is capable of like getting pregnant. So she is called fertile or fertile. Like for example, in that certain day, let's say fertility, in that certain days, if you have sex intercourse with your partner, then she will get probably get pregnant. Like for example, in that certain day or in this day ovulation, those fertility days is usually 7 days. Like for example, we have ovulation here, like for example 14, and then coming ovulation is at the center of this fertility. So you were gonna be counting 3 days, which is ovulation day, and 3 days before its ovulation days. So like for example 13, so you can 15, 16, 17. So 17 is the end of fertility, or sorry, so 18 is the end of fertility. The last day of fertility is the 17 that I mentioned. So you're going to count back from 14 for a day 14. So 12 as 13, 12, 11. So 11 is a day, is a starting day of fertility. 17 is the last day of fertility. That's what happened. So let's talk about infertility. Infertility is the opposite of fertility. When saying infertility, a certain female is not a, even though you have into a sex intercourse with a certain female, she will not get pregnant because there is no egg cell there. That's what happens. Say infertility, there's an egg cell. So why there's 5 days infertility? Because a certain sperm cell will stay in the uterus for only 5 days. Then the ovulation, so like for example, you have sex intercourse on 15, so it happens to be because the sperm cells will live uterus 5 days. So usually they will meet together. That's what happens. So the sperm cell and egg cells meet together, then they will become pregnant. Okay. Let's move to the other topic that we'll be talking about translation. Sorry, replication, translation. Uh, okay. Oh, let's move to the other topic. Okay. Okay, uh, I think we are, you already know this certain topic, right? So I think you already know this certain topic, right? Because I posted this in our Google Classroom. So the nucleic acid and the connection with the inheritance. So as we recall what about this, the human being has what we call cells, and inside of the cells, you have what we call nucleus, where the chromosomes live. And those chromosomes is composed of genes, and those genes is has a set of DNA, and the DNA is composed of nitrogenous bases. The same nitrogenous bases, they are what we call codons. They are the codes that compose us. So this, in other words, will be called genetics. Like for example, you have a big eyes, and then what makes your eyes bigger? So it is because of your nitrogenous bases, specifically your DNA. So the gene is a distinct portion of DNA responsible for inherited trait. So the gene is what we call such a portion of an DNA where you are or you can get those from your parents and get those from your mother and father because it's combined because the cells that I was mentioned, the cell, egg cell, and the sperm cell will be as one and becomes fertilized egg. So you are a product of fertilized egg. So this DNA here is inside of these egg cells and sperm cells. And the genes has what they call nucleic acid, which are the RNA and DNA. They are called nucleic acid or what they call nucleic acid because it is coming from the nucleus. And they are acids because they are composed of sugars. The organic compounds that functions as storage of genetic information, which is transmitted from generation to next in all level organisms. There are the two types of nucleic acid, the deoxyribose nucleic acid, or the DNA, and the ribonucleic acid, or the RNA. So the differences between the two is that deoxyribonucleic acid, or the DNA, is not composed of a certain compounds. They will there's different part there's compounds that doesn't made of the RNA. Okay, let's talk about this. Both made of basic building blocks called nucleotides. Okay, this is the composition of the two nucleic acid, the phosphate, nitrogenous base, and sugar. So they're the deoxyribose sugar, and here is a ribose sugar. So the DNA is composed of nitrogenous bases, right? As mentioned earlier. These are the nitrogenous bases, the purines, which is a double ring. They're the guanine and adenine. While the pyrimidines is a single ring, which is called cytosine, thymine, and the RNA is composed of guanine, adenine, cytosine, and uracil. That is the RNA. Using DNA, the guanine, adenine, cytosine, and thymine. Okay. During the process of what we call this replication, during the process of transcription, the thymine will be replaced with a uracil because the process of sorry transcription because the process of transcription the RNA is released to make proteins while the thymine here is attached to a certain DNA that is from the replication that will your body will, I mean, the cells in your body will be replicated. That is why some, you've observed that your ones will be healed, right? Because of this guanine, adenine, cytosine, and thymine time passes, they will replicate. Within the will replicate, so it becomes so, okay. This is here is a thymine cytosine. I've mentioned earlier that the guanine is a double ring. They are formed a ring, double ring, adenine and guanine. So the thymine and cytosine are singular. Okay, here they are merged to do replication. In this part, there is no uracil. In this part, the thymine will be changed into uracil. Cytosine, adenine, guanine, and nitric. That they are called the nucleobases of RNA, or nucleotides of RNA. Okay. The difference is that the DNA has a double helix, while the RNA is just a single strand. Okay, that's a single strand. And this RNA will be sent to the cytoplasm of the cell. This one sent the translation happened. Okay, talk about this. Maybe I gonna put some whiteboard, right? Wait first. Okay, I'm gonna write something. Okay, like for example, okay, in a certain nucleus, this is a cell, this is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus, the DNA is happening. The replication is happening. While the transcription also in the nucleus is happening after the replication. Why it is replicated? Because the other half of this one will be used to form RNA. And this one here, this is being replicated to maintain the genetic material that you have. And the RNA will be released out of the nucleus and it to form proteins. Well, proteins is the one that builds us our muscles. Where's the cytoplasm here? Outside the nucleus is the cytoplasm, where the formation of amino acid. So when you say amino acids, like for example, there are certain codes. And so let's go. So Jason, I'm not, it's not Jason. This one, taking this one is a James Watson and Francis Crick. This is a typo error. So it's Watson and Crick. They are the one who describe that the DNA is a double helix. There's a repeating of nucleotides made up of sugar, which is the deoxyribonucleic nitrogenous bases, so this either the purines or the pyrimidine. So this one, so the adenine is always paired with thymine, and the cytosine is always paired with the guanine and adenine are both purines. Thymine and cytosine are both pyrimidine. So the adenine will be paired with the pyrimidine. Sorry, the purine will pair with the pyrimidine. So they pair adenine pair with thymine. Both cytosine is pair with guanine. They will not interchange with their pairing man. So guanine is always paired with the cytosine. Plus, let's go back to making of okay. Let's try to have something. Uh, Talk about it. So, like for example, you have a set of DNA. Like for example, you have a set of DNA given a certain strand. Yeah, like for example, you have A, G. Maybe I will just write it. But for example, you have A, G, D, C, G, A, C, D. Okay, like for example, you have the certain given DNA, like okay, and DNA. Is strand. So this is a certain DNA given. So during the process of replication, the this one will be replicated since they have A, G, T, T. Okay, A is always matched with T is always matched with thymine. So you have T. Guanine is always matched with cytosine with C. So the T here is AA, C will be G, A will be T, C will be G again, and T will be A. That is the process of replication. Then in the part of transcription, take note class that they will be transcripted. They have the same meaning, but then you will be forming them it's into another area, like the script. If you have a certain script, you copied from a certain person, then you are, or you're gonna be words phrase, rephrase them, and it's called the transcription model. So you're gonna look into the DNA strand. During the process, thymine is being changed with a uracil. So that means because this part will be forming a messenger RNA. So those are the RNA that will be sent into the cytoplasm. So A will be become U, right? Because it will match because you need to replace U. So you're going to copy and you're going to replicate that same thing. G will be C. So T here will be A. Take note that the A is will be just matched with yourself because here replace the name. So C is this one become G. And then remove some space. Maybe different picture. This is let's see. This one here is because A is different. So in the transcription, you can also just copy the what is in replication, but all that are in letter T, replace them. So you see AGC, TGA. sorry, that becomes U, G, A. That is a transcription. While in translation, these set of what they call nitrogenous bases will become an amino acids. And after there become a certain amino acids, they build up, they will become one proteins. Okay. So UCA has its amino acids. You can search in Google if you want to search like what is you can search amino acids and therefore you can see the what is certain set of RNA or a nitrogenous base become amino acid. Okay, so UCA, the UCA will become serine, will become amino acids. Agency will become a serine also. And what's next? UGA will become a stop codon. Say stop codon, it indicated that a certain set of DNA will stop forming a a new it will become one protein. So this nitrogenous base is this stop codon. Let's let's not happen. So that is indicated stop codon to stop the process of making amino acids. So after that, you'll be making some start codon was the affirmation of new and other proteins. Okay, okay, that's it. If you have questions or clarification, just message me and we'll be continuing. So answer what is in our Google Classroom and you may submit the missing outputs you have. Okay, if I think that's would be all. Goodbye and thank you, class.